6 hours later.
So the theory is that Willy Wonka is actually a murderer and kills all these kids in like Saw-style traps. But this theory gets even weirder, right? So they say that Willy Wonka experienced something as a child which got him obsessed with traps. So what if he was actually Kevin McAllister from Home Alone?
Leaked on social media several years ago, this footage seems to show a team of men in white biohazard suits, carrying the body of what appears to be a mermaid. The tail is clearly visible, and two members of the paramedic team are nearby with a stretcher.
Do dinosaurs even really exist? Because it's been admitted even that these are just basically an artist rendition, just like the globe and all that.
The craziest coincidences in American history lie between Abraham Lincoln and JFK. It's almost like they were predetermined to live the exact same lives. It starts with they were both elected to Congress in 1846 and 1946. John Wilkes Booth shot Lincoln in a theater and then went to hide in a warehouse, while Lee Harvey Oswald shot JFK in a warehouse and then went to hide in a theater. Lincoln's secretary, whose last name was Kennedy, advised him not to go to the theater that day, and JFK's secretary with the name Lincoln advised him not to go to Dallas that day.
How is it possible that over 200 people go missing off of cruise ships a year? And what's
The researchers were realizing that these things were getting way too smart. They shut down all three robots, started disassembling them because they were that terrified. One of them somehow wasn't fully disabled, connects to a satellite, reassembles itself, starts telling its counterparts how to reassemble itself. The researchers come back in and these things killed all of them.
They're off in the Kentucky Derby. And summer is tomorrow, had a great start and goes immediately to the early lead. Messier is away running with speed. Crown Pride to the outside. Epicenter is going to be taken back a bit, down toward the inside as Tapa goes up outside of Chargent. O'Donegal to the inside, and then the two trailers up the backstretcher, Barber Road and Happy Jack. That opening half mile was, whoa, blazing fast. 45.36 seconds for Summer is Tomorrow, who heads up the backstretch in front. Now Epicenter comes splitting horses and is moving up quickly as Crown Pride takes the lead around the far turn. And they're into the stretch, and it's Messier, Crown Pride, and Epicenter is coming up on the outside. Epicenter has taken the lead as they arrive into the final furlong. Sandon is coming after him. Epicenter and Sandon, these two, stride for stride. Simplification down the outside is next. They're coming down to the wire.
Connection status.
Hello, my name is Isha.
I am a crowdsourced news reporter. Can you hear me okay, penis head? I'm sorry about that. We are still working out some kinks. Kinky kinks. Just forget me, knots are beautiful flowers.
Hey, no worries. I know what you were trying to say, and yeah, I can hear you just fine.
You are very kind. Okay. First off, I want to thank you so much for being here. Is it true this is the first time you've given an interview in over 10 years?
Yes, it is true. Actually, it's been 11 years now, and I'm sure we'll get into that a little more in a minute, but I think it was the right decision for me to remove myself from the spotlight. Oops, sorry, I must have left my virtual alerts on.
Okay. For the record, can you tell us who you are and why you decided to be here?
Yeah, sure. Most everybody knows me by the name Ryan, which was my previous name, and I'm widely credited with inventing the fantasy football playoff system that changed the industry forever. And of course, there are people who dispute that, but most people credit the origin back to 2022 when I implemented it in my Dynasty League, and because our Dynasty League became so famous around the world, I guess that gave me more notoriety, and the rest is history. And to your question about why I decided to talk now, it's sort of, I guess you would say, a favor for my cousin Drew, who happens to be the commissioner of that Dynasty League.
And is Drew watching right now?
No. He has already seen this.
I beg your pardon, this is a live broadcast.
Yeah, never mind. Let's just say someone in the government owed me a favor, and I asked them to get a message to him.
All right. I see you gave our producers a very precise hard out. LOL. I said hard. Is there a reason for this, or are you just very busy?
There's a reason for it. Unfortunately, not everybody in the government is my friend, and it's critical that I cut off not a second too late.
Okay then. We received millions of questions from fans, and the algorithm is consolidating them as we speak, down to just a few. The first one is pretty obvious. Why did you choose to change and disguise your identity?
So it's kind of a story of things getting out of control. At first, everything was great. I created the system, and everybody was so obsessed with it for being incredible and completely perfect. This was their words, not mine. So I started getting contacted by other Dynasty and Fantasy leagues to write their constitutions, but I don't really even like doing this And then the crazy thing is I eventually started getting contacted by small businesses who just started thinking I had some sort of gift. Well, small businesses turned into large corporations getting in touch with me. They wanted me to do everything from rewriting their mission statements to revamping their HR departments. I have to admit, I eventually gave in and took some of these offers. I mean, it was money, good money, so I just rolled with it. But things went from hectic to scary when the government got involved and wanted my services. Lots of governments, and I can't even actually say their names on here. They were begging me to write bills for lawmakers. They wanted me to develop military strategies. Eventually, I received the nickname the Merchant of Knowledge. They thought I knew secret and strategic information about pretty much everybody around the world, even though in reality I barely did any work for any of them. I've just spent most of my years dodging their threats and trying to hide from them. Anyway, that's the short version as to why I had to change my identity and stay on the move.
I think I understand that, but I don't understand why you won't show your face. And by I mean the hand of my Lord and Savior. Go Notre Dame. Damn it. Producer CX9 Alpha Neon, please increase the moderation threshold.
My friends call me Neil.
Just do it. Okay, as I was saying, don't people know what you look like from before?
Yes, they do know what I used to look like, but I had facial reconstruction surgery done a few years ago because I cannot underestimate how dangerous certain people are in this world when they really want you. And they were detecting my location with facial recognition and other advanced methods. So I decided to spend a great deal of money and spared no amount of effort to be sure that finally my location would never be found again.
Right. Next question. For those living under a rock the past 25 years, could you give us a summary of the playoff system you created?
Sure. I'm running low on time, so I'm going to try to make this quick. But a nice thing about this system is it's quick and easy to explain. It doesn't have a lot of weird features to it, but it does actually remove all of the pain points that traditionally drove most people crazy. Anyway, simply put, it's a 3-week system, but it's only one round. Before this, you would see rounds made up of one NFL week or 2 weeks added together. So the logical next step was a single 3-week super round, which actually solves a lot of problems. Like the semifinal round feeling like it carries the most weight. Or really any number of reasons connected to small sample sizes. Great teams sometimes have off weeks. Not great teams sometimes have huge weeks. Injuries, matchups, even buys, and a whole lot more can complicate things. So I figured let's just throw all of that out the window and use a system that weighs all champion deciding weeks exactly the same. And it turns out this is really exciting because it resembles a race. And the beauty of a race is it can be won in all kinds of different ways. Plus another thing people love is it produces the closest thing to an undisputed champion. And let me tell you, it is a blast compared to the boring old head-to-head matchups. Sometimes someone might start slow and then pick up speed halfway and finish strong. That sort of reminds me of Usain Bolt in his epic triple gold medal run. Occasionally he would come off the blocks, and just for a few seconds you would think maybe someone else could have a chance. And then he would always just explode through the middle and the end.
Set.
Oh, they're away, and Gatling got away brilliantly, and he's ahead of the field at the moment, and Bolt going very, and here comes Usain Bolt! Usain Bolt storming through, he takes it again, Blake gets the silver, 9.64! Oh, he's retained his title in the most emphatic way! Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant!
Or on the flip side, someone can start hot and then choke it away, which no one in the league will ever let him forget. Or, sometimes you're just going to have a juggernaut, someone who starts out strong, dominates through the middle, and just continues to kick everybody's ass all the way to the finish. I think it was Rio 2016 when Katie Ledecky just roasted everybody in the 800 meter, which is a long and grueling race, but lap after lap she just kept extending her distance and then smashed the world record, and I think was just waiting at the finish line for her opponents.
That she will instantly go into the lead. Her race is close to world record, even in training.
That we've seen other swimmers.
Well, the race is between she and the clock, and the rest of them are racing for second and third. Flash there as she staves off the world record line. She's so far away from them. Ledecky, gold medal. Ledecky, world record. Katie Ledecky of the USA reigns supreme yet again.
And of course, horse racing might be the best example of all. From start to finish, almost anything could happen. It just so happens in 2022, our first year with this playoff system, there was one of the greatest Kentucky Derbies of all time. But my time is running low, and I can't recall all of the details exactly, so I'm not going to worry about that right now.
Wow, I'm impressed even though I don't know what any of that is. Okay, one more. I'm not sure why the algorithm created this question, but would you have sex with a robot if it looked like my wife? Excuse me, your wife?
That's my time. I'm out. Bye.
Right.
Epicenter and Sandon. These two stride for stride. Simplification down the outside is next. They're coming down to the wire. And they're into the stretch. And it's Messier, Crown Pride, and Epicenter is coming up on the outside. Epicenter has taken the lead as they arrive into the final furlong. Sandon is coming after him. Epicenter and Sandon, these two, stride for stride. Simplification down the outside is next. They're coming down to the wire. Epicenter, Sandon, Rich Strike is coming up on the inside. Oh my goodness, the longest shot has won the Kentucky Derby.
When he says Rich Strike, it's just that horse emerges.
They're coming down to the wire. Epicenter's ended. Rich Strike is coming up on the inside. Oh my goodness, the longest shot has won the Kentucky Derby. Rich Strike has done it in a stunning, unbelievable upset.
Horse 21. The number of times that I have watched Rich Strike go from like 15th to winning in the last 50 seconds, I've watched that on a loop. And I've shown it to my kids, and I'm like, look, never give up.